I don't think there's no sound. Go for a drive in the countryside. Whoops.
Oh, we've been live this whole time?
Only for a few minutes.
Whoops.
What a grand time we can have. Whoopsies. Walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Need to find the key to find the way out. Western He unlocks the door. Grows on to my old tree. Light makes my green light won't go. Green light won't go. Bus won't move. Gotta catch a groove. Gotta move it on down in this time world. 1, 2, 3. He said tree. Time thermometer moving backwards in a backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. Miles and miles down the road. In your spirit, it grows close to me. Be your own captain, last unity in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in the backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Need to find a key to find the way out. Western He unlocks the door. Grows untuned by the old tree. Light makes mine. The green light won't go. The bus won't move. Gotta catch a groove. Gotta move it on down in this clown world. 1, 2, 3. He said tree. Time thermometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Time thermometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. I can identify with the song that goes. Miles and miles down the road. Kindred spirit, the crow spoke to me. Be your own captain, lasting unity in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Gotta move it on down in this clown world. 1, 2, 3. He said 3.
All right.
A good old favorite. Movie and a unicorn, and popcorn. I saw unicorns and friends. Popcorn. All I had was a grand. Making an Exodus movie show was getting good. I got my popcorn. Hot summer, got a beat, got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your playlist. Do you understand the music show? Apocalyptic movie show. I got my popcorn 2 degrees. Nothing like watching this movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn too. Living in a post-apocalyptic movie show. The movie and a unicorn. Movie and a popcorn. Movie and a popcorn. I saw unicorns and friend. All I had was a grand. Making a Exodus movie show is getting good. Got my popcorn getting really deep. It got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your list. Do you understand the music from the apocalyptic movie show? I got my popcorn too. 100 degrees, nothing like watching a movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn, yeah. Living in a popcorn movie show. Movie and a unicorn show. I gotta say, I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, southwest bound. Time stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song of long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Where we're gonna start on Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not man in the moon. That has the sound so profound. Man with the sound so profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, south windbound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Well, where we start our Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not the man in the moon that has the sound. Sounds so profound, man, with a sound. So profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, southwest bound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gotta walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. So how's everyone doing tonight?
Doing good. It's always nice
Yeah.
to have good Star Trek.
Yeah, a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, someone would have said, hey, you're going to have a YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, you're going to start writing songs again, going to start singing again. But I don't know if I would have believed that or not, you know? Hell of a thing. I am blown away by it every day. It's an overwhelming good feeling, I guess you could say. I'm just blown away by it every day, you know? Every time on a live stream, every time we interact with people, every time we have fun, and this is basically what we're doing it for, because we're having fun. We enjoy ourselves, and we enjoy the panel, and we enjoy the chat, because we got the best chat in the community, like you always say, Wes. And,
The best chat on YouTube.
So FinalDeathStar is having some internet connection issues, and I guess it's going around a little bit, I've heard. And there's folks that are having internet issues, and I don't know if it's the southern western half of the country that's having it, because there's a lot of fires down in California, I hear.
I'm gonna take responsibility, Bear. This is actually my fault. I had the guinea pig.
You didn't fart. You didn't fart, did you?
No, I had the guinea pig collective out there. We were nibbling wires again. We were trying to eliminate the competition.
The guinea force.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Busy little guinea pigs. They always have.
I bet your guinea pigs really love that the G-Force movie, the guinea pig movie.
Yeah, I have never actually showed that to the guinea pigs.
They might like it.
You know what they like? Believe it or not, they like good action movies. Like if I put on something like the old school, like Mad Max, or Road Warrior, Big Trouble in Little China, they will sit there and watch that stuff.
Yeah, and apparently I speak guinea pig because I was saying some things, and then the guinea pig was answering. Remember that one time?
Yeah, it was pretty hysterical.
Yeah,
they started chirping up.
Me and the guinea pig were having a conversation. Tommy's like, "Wow." Yeah, I tend to have conversations with animals. They try to tell me things and stuff, Dog come up and, they want something. They know that I know. And, I got this buddy that I play darts with. And he's got this cool little fluffy, furry tabby, gray tabby. And cat wants 3 things. Can of soft food, wants back in the house, and wants those nice, yummy little treats, and not always in that order, but that's normally what the cat is trying to get across to me because he thinks that her owner is not listening. So it must be my mom had fucking a lot of cats. She still got a lot of cats, but she doesn't have as many as she used to. But yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a good rapport with animals. I'm pretty good with animals as well. A lot of people will have a dog that doesn't like anybody, and usually I'll bond pretty quickly with the dog.
Well, you can tell a lot about people about how a dog, especially a dog, will react to someone that it's never met, and dogs are good like that because if that person's got some bad intentions or anything like that, the dog's gonna smell that.
Yep.
You smell that immediately.
Oh yeah.
I had a black lab mix. What's up, Thomas Connolly? Been a while. How you doing?
Hey, Thomas.
That CJH, I don't think you really want to know what I thought of those 2 trailers.
Which trailers are we talking about?
He's talking about the Batman and the Justice League.
Oh, I seen. What was it, Scotty? Was it Scotty that showed that? I seen the boots.
Jane Theory did, and I think Scotty did too. I think they both did. I think.
Yeah, I think I seen what Scotty showed. Hey, L. Thomas, how you doing? Yeah. So how's everyone in the chat doing? Say that again, Wes. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was going to say, hopefully it wasn't that Netflix trailer that everybody's talking about. That thing's pretty...
Oh, man, that's horrible, man. I don't even think my mom's even seen it. I hope she don't. I know that one of my other aunts, they've been very, very much awake about the safety of children and stuff, And it really impresses me and blows me away. Gives one hope, man. People on my mom's side of the family waking up, man. That's awesome,
A lot of people waking up, Bear. Yeah. A lot of people. It's catching on.
You wake up, you hit your alarm snoozer and all that, and you get up and you have your coffee, and then later on you eat your popcorn and you watch the movie show.
Yeah.
That's how we play it here, We're doing this while we're actually going like this. Fun times. You got to be able to joke around with it and make fun of it, and then put it back in its box and tell it to go away.
CJH, let's hear it. CJH, I'm gonna leave it like this. I can't say that it was the worst thing I've ever seen, but neither one inspired me to want to watch them. Neither one did. It just is what it is. I was never a huge fan of the first Justice League, and I never watched it because I didn't care what I seen in the trailers. And what I seen in the trailers in this one, it really didn't put anything into me that I wanted to see that either. And as far as the new Batman one, it's like anything else. It's got problems, and I just wasn't impressed.
I haven't seen either one yet.
Well, I seen a couple still images when they stopped it. I seen the boots. Now there were some complaints about the boots. Now I didn't get a real good look at it, but you could see the boot and the heel. I mean, it's a giant little image on a screen, and so I'm not sure the context of how big that boot is compared to another boot like it. I don't have anything to compare it to. I've heard some say platform boots.
He's wearing stripper boots?
No, platform boots. They're make you taller.
You know what they
like
reminded
Pee Wee
me?
Herman?
You know what they reminded me more of, Bear?
What?
The really old paratrooper boots where they had the high heels on the back end.
Really? Oh yeah. Those paratrooper boots were what? About 1.5 inches?
They were about 2 inches. They had
2
about
inches?
2-inch heels. Yeah.
I don't even think they use those no more.
No, they stopped using them a while ago.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I've got some doubts and some reservations about this Batman movie coming up. Honestly, just because Patterson's going to be in it.
Yeah, as soon as they announced Pattinson, I was like, I don't think that's good casting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I have my doubts. You know.
Same here.
You know, I'll give anything a chance according to its merits, if it's got any merits and all that, and if it don't, you know, I'll talk about that too. But yeah, and maybe I've heard people talking about maybe it's just going to be one of those one-off kind of stories, and then I've heard talk of why all the character development if it's just going to be a one-off story, and you know, I can kind of, those are good questions, for sure. Definitely good questions. I can't remember who was saying it. I think Jane might have said something like that, and a couple other people on the panel earlier. But yeah, I've definitely got some questions about it.
Go ahead, Wes.
Is Warner Brothers one of those companies that gives you all kinds of false copyright claims?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, we don't want to show their images.
They hit Loki earlier today when he was doing his fandom, and he was actually showing the trailers. Wow. Yeah, they knocked him down for a little while.
Yeah, I got one of those firm rules. I don't show any moving images. I'll show a still image every now and then, but I won't let it play. And man, that freaking autoplay sometimes on Twitter, man, it will get you. Because if you expand one of those videos on Twitter, and it automatically plays sound when you expand it. Gets me all the time.
Well, I was going to say about that whole Batman thing and whether or not they're actually going to continue. It wouldn't really make any sense from everything that they've said before, because they were talking about they wanted to use the Justice League as an expansion for the DCEU. And if that's the way they're going, the Batman that they already have in there does not jive with throwing Pattinson in there.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I'd rather see Ben Affleck as Batman. He looks more like one of the comic versions of Batman, as far as I was concerned. He's the closest thing to Batman we've gotten in a long time. Now, I like Justice League, but you know that I got my issues about it and all that, and it's not exactly the way I would have liked it, but it's to me it's okay. I watched it. It's a popcorn eating movie. I wouldn't say it's great. I wouldn't say it's horrible. But you know, it's one of those movies where I enjoyed my popcorn when I watched the movie, and so it was okay.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people had a lot of issues with a lot of different things in it, and I can understand why. You know, there's a lot of things where they take a lot of steps and leaps away from the comic, and from the cartoon in a lot of ways. And the TV shows actually have been the closest to the Justice League, because with the Arrowverse, they've been the closest. They actually showed the actual Justice League the way it looked in the Super Friends. Remember that?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of cool. And the way I understand it, there's gonna be a TV role for Batfleck. I thought I heard something like that.
I think he would work better in a TV role. His version of Batman.
Well, I'll tell you, all the trailers that I've seen today, the only one that actually really stood out for me for DC and actually had me looking at it like, that looks pretty interesting, is the Black Adam one.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's got the Rock playing Black Adam, but I mean it looks pretty good from what I've seen. So
yeah, I had my head buried in the computer screen and redoing the song earlier, and I was been working on it the majority of the afternoon, and I took little breaks to see what was going on here and there, and after I got everything set up with the song and all that and got that ready to go, because in between when I was in between stages of working on the song, I do stuff, and I set the live stream up, made the thumbnail and stuff like that. And while stuff's doing things, there's certain things I can do. It's kind of how I get things done. So that way, there's a bunch of things that would take a bunch of time, but in between those waiting stages, you do always something that you're doing. And making a thumbnail is pretty intensive, because I'm taking a bunch of images, I'm cutting them out, changing them, morphing them, and making them look way different. Then I'm layering them and stacking them on top of each other to create a 3D-like image. And a lot of the stuff, and a lot of the, and if it's not an image I'm taking, I'm creating the image from scratch. It's fun. I enjoy it. But when I do a thumbnail, it's like literally 6 hours and just disappear. And especially if I make everything from scratch, image-wise, and cut it out, put it in a circle cutter. Got to have a circle cutter, man. Layering images when you got those round images, it comes in handy.
Yeah, it's one of the most useful things that I've found in Photoshop, although it's probably done a little differently than I think the program you're using.
I'll use my built-in program on my phone. It's a pretty decent one. The lasso works really good. Let me see here.
Yeah, the lasso in the new version of Photoshop works a lot better than the old version I had. That's for sure.
Man, I tried using that program, and I got kind of almost used to it a little bit. And man, that's a real that program made me cuss a lot. I'm telling you. Oh man, you do the wrong freaking thing, and you're done. Start over. And it used to pull my hair out, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, that program made me mad often. Yeah, that is a complicated ass program to use. A lot of programs are complicated. They're not easy. It's like Power Director, man. It was like learning minor rocket science, for the laptop. Putting particles together and all that stuff to make a layered image. Fun stuff, man, but it wasn't easy. But yeah, it's intensive. And I've discovered that in my N-Track 9 Studio, it crashes now and then. I almost lost a song earlier that I did vocals to, and when you're recording a vocal track and it crashes and then bring it back up, it's not there. Well, it's back in the folder. I had to manually put a vocal track back in because it crashed. and it couldn't recover itself, but it was already recorded in the folder. Weirdest thing I ever seen. But yeah, it is intense program. It uses a lot. And I got a decent laptop. It's about 5 years old. Got it used. It's an MSI gaming laptop.
Yeah, they're one of the best.
It's an Apache Pro. And I'm probably going to get another MSI when I get around to it. Because it's, I put an M2 connected Samsung solid state drive in it. And it's fast. It's not as fast as my phone when it comes to me rendering videos and stuff. I can render a 4K video that's 3 minutes long. I can do that probably in less than 2 minutes. And if it's really layered, it'll maybe take 3 to render. And that same 4K video, it takes 5 minutes to upload. And I use my phone that way. And because it's got a 8 core, and then man, it blows me away what that phone can do. I never realized it. I was forced to use it because my laptop, the GPU fan had went, and so I kept ordering GPU fans. I kept sending them back because they were sending me the wrong one. They fit, but they didn't work because they didn't match the system, and they had specific numbers that they had to match. And finally, I got it from Newegg. It was like 3 months I wasn't able to use my I could use my laptop, but not for streaming, but for basically like image retrieval.
Yeah, those GPUs get hot.
Yeah, as long as I didn't use anything that taxed the GPU, the CPU fan would run constantly, and I could turn the laptop on, get the stuff, get files, and then shut it off and then be done. And I was using my Windows 7 laptop, tried and sturdy, and it's pretty good. Yeah, I was live streaming off that thing. Pretty amazed by that. Didn't think it would be able to do it, but it did do it. And I've live streamed from my phone before. It works pretty decent.
You know what? I have you to thank for giving me that StreamYard tip about, because I don't qualify to stream directly to YouTube. You gave me that tip, and yeah, it's really changed. It's totally changed everything for me for YouTube, being able to do that.
About the
using the desktop version of the browser and StreamYard on your phone to live stream. Yeah.
Right.
I think you have to have the 1,000 subs or whatever for YouTube to let you to be able to stream directly to YouTube.
Oh, from the command center? Yeah. But anyone that had if you were just a YouTube viewer watching YouTube channels, if you had it, what is it, 2012, you're grandfathered in. You can live stream from any platform. You have no rules like that. You're basically grandfathered in. It's like for me, let me see here.
I got mine in November of 2013.
So yeah, your grandfather, you should be able to stream from any platform. Because I've had mine since December 3rd, 2013, as a viewer, And basically, you want to know how I learned I could live stream? I went into the command seat, and I started a live stream, and I didn't know it. And it was complete by accident. And it happened like 3 times when I didn't even know it. And I found it after the fact, and I'm like, live stream? I don't remember doing a live stream. I had like 3-minute and 2-minute long live streams. I had no camera hooked up. And the little camera on your laptop? Mm-hmm. I got that son of a gun taped.
Yeah, I've got mine taped too. I
got the pinhole taped too, because that's where that little mic is at.
I don't even know why they come with them, honestly. Well, I mean, I guess I have a theory on why they come with them, but that's a topic for a different.
Yeah, the built-in things, non-removable batteries. Somebody had an idea somewhere.
Did you say 2013, Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
So yeah, if anyone's since 2013, because I think they changed the policy later on, a few years later.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They didn't grandfather in the monetization because that used to be just a simple opt-in, opt-out.
Oh man, I wish they would have. I wish they would have. Hell yeah.
Me too. You have something that goes viral, you want to be able to get paid on it.
Yeah.
But I think they've made it hard for things to go viral now, so whatever.
Yeah, the algorithm that they can pretty much do as they please with their algorithm. Yeah. And picture it like salmon trying to figure out the current every time it changes. Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. Got to be good salmon though.
Working on it. Sink or swim, I guess.
So yeah, I haven't heard from FinalDeathStar yet. He said he was having some internet issues. He even rebooted, and I haven't heard from him since. So, what'd you think of the part 2 of the Menagerie, man?
I actually think I like part 2. It's it's hard. Part 1 set everything up, and a lot of times, a lot of stories they fail in the payoff, but the payoff was really good in part 2 of the Menagerie. You really get to know a little bit more about Pike. You get to know more about the Telosians and that whole situation. And, you get to learn a lot about Spock. What's interesting is just how little Kirk we get in this. I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, wow, it's really interesting because Kirk, I think Pike is getting more screen time in this episode than Kirk was getting.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even think the original Pike was even in this. I think it was clips from the cage.
Yeah. It was clips from the cage, and some other guy played disabled Pike.
Yeah, and but you see the parts where they did show Kirk, they were dynamic, very dynamic, and it worked.
Yeah, it had a lot of weight to it. I mean, he's struggling with basically ending his best friend's career and him possibly being, sentenced to death in really unusual circumstances. So, a lot of weight, and William Shatner played it very well.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty dynamic in parts where he was. Everything meshed really good. It's the like you said, the payoff. It was there in the story, man. Very interesting. And you notice the difference between the transporter room and the cage compared to the current one now. There's some fine differences.
Yeah, they have those little coax like TV screens going up, and then it's black instead of red, I think.
Did you notice that Spock mentioned hyperdrive? Notified all decks that they were engaging hyperdrive?
Yeah.
That's the one and only time they ever mention it. And it's also you'll hear that in the cage too.
Yep, and they don't use phasers; they use lasers.
Right. So yeah, they were still in the cage. They were still getting all the bells and whistles and all that stuff. Yeah. And it's kind of what I like about the cage and about the Menagerie as well. Because it uses bits and pieces. They probably use footage from the cage that they never used before as well. I'm not sure if they did or didn't, but you would think that there'd be a little something they could use. But man,
I got to say, I do prefer the Menagerie to the cage because you have the characters that we're familiar with, and it gives the cage footage so much more weight than it does watching the cage by itself, because that's 13 years ago, and all this adventure and this different crew on the same ship. They have these different adventures. There's a different tone. It makes it a lot more interesting for me, the cage footage. It's almost like found footage in a way.
Yeah, it does put it in. It puts it in an interesting perspective. It really does.
I really like the conference room, the way it looks in the cage. I actually prefer the way the conference room looks in the cage compared to the Menagerie, or compared to the regular original series.
Yeah.
And that conference, that was pretty interesting. That was like a prototype of what we're going to get later.
Mm-hmm.
And the Doctor and the conversations they were having, and Spock. What really jumped out at me was just how different Spock was in the cage conferences versus the way he is in the later conferences. If we're buzzing about down there, who uses a term like that? It's so un-Spock-like.
Oh yeah, it was raw, but that's kind of what I like about it.
Yeah,
I like the rawness, for sure.
And that's what's interesting about it to me in the context of the Menagerie versus just the cage, is that you see the growth, you see the development, you see the change in Spock from the way he was back then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you notice this particular alien species, they had these mental powers, man. They could reach light years away. Light years. They got Starfleet command to say it was okay.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's all the way to Earth. They could reach that far with their mental powers. It's a good thing that they're a malevolent species and don't want to interfere. Man,
yeah.
They would be a serious adversary if they chose to be one. Man, it occurred to me, it's like they were manipulating that starbase. That starbase was many light years away.
Yep.
And let me see, what was the star? Was it Starbase 7 or 4?
Hold
Rigel
on.
4. Rigel 4 was the planet.
Hold on. Starbase was it? I'll have to look at the part 1. I've got part 2 up. Starbase 11. There you go.
Yeah, Starbase 11. Wasn't sure if it was 4 or 11. But yeah, that's a pretty far reach, man. I would say that's pretty momentous.
I also loved. I don't want to jump ahead too much here, but the end with Pike, where it shows him and Vina running off together, and how that's footage from the cage, but the context changes the way it was used in the Menagerie. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty genius, I thought.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I thought was interesting about this is the fact that not only did they revisit an older character that some people may have wondered what happened to, and you finally get a payoff of what really did happen to him and where he winds up in the end of the original series. But this is actually the one and only 2-part episode that was ever aired in the original series.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's cool. So yeah, the all the questions that you got from the cage, they were answered in part 1 and 2 of the Menagerie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Menagerie is definitely. It's just such an interesting episode. It's one of the reasons I like it so much. It's it kind of fleshes out Starfleet with the Starbase and how big Starfleet is, and this mysterious General Order 7, the secrets they're keeping. It's the only capital offense still put on the books. It just adds a lot to it, a lot of tension. It's very well done.
Yeah, it does. Tells you how serious they want people not going near that planet. And I guess that applies to all Federation citizens or something.
Yeah.
You figured if the law applies to the people in Starfleet and Federation official, it's gotta apply to the citizens, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other episodes where they've come across a really advanced alien race, but I guess usually it ends up it ends up resolving itself, so it's not left hanging the way it is with the cage, with the Telosians. But here's an interesting factoid: all the Telosians were played by females.
That is an interesting factoid.
Yep.
That never happened back then, Wes. Stop it.
I know.
Philip Gaming, he says he has the Menagerie on Laserdisc. Oh, God, I remember those big clunky things. Worth about $40 to $50.
Laserdiscs were
talking
cool.
About you talking about the Laserdiscs that were the size of records?
Yes, the ones that are the size of a 33 album. Yep.
Yeah, my Uncle Ernie had one of those Laserdisc players when they first came out. They had The Wizard of Oz and a couple other those. There was one classic cowboy movie too that they had.
We had them in science class in like the 7th or 8th grade.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Philip. The cage is worth 40. Menagerie is about 10.
So how's that looking on your TV when you play it?
I seem to recall Laserdiscs, the fast forward and the reversing to be really good.
Oh, they're dual-sided. No kidding.
When you fast forward it, it really, it just speeds the motion up. It doesn't go herky-jerky, clunky like it does with DVDs.
Yeah. The last time that I seen one of those, that was basically back when I was 10. That was almost 39 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say when they came out, it was like maybe 16 or something. 16, maybe 17, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're a big deal, but I think they were expensive, really expensive.
Oh yeah, they were. My Uncle Ernie was the only one I knew of that had one. They were not cheap. And back then, I think it was like $100-something for a disc or something, $90. They were not cheap.
$480i, huh? The VHS was $240i. That makes sense.
Wow. Little gadgets that's still around, man. Cool little things, gotta say.
The Beta Hi-Fi looked better than the VHS, but Beta didn't catch on.
Well, that's almost like the mini DVDs. Do you guys remember them?
Yeah, the PlayStation had them, right? Or the PlayStation.
Well, no. These were just straight up. These were just made.
You could make recordings with them.
Yeah, these were made by Sony, not just for the PlayStation. These were like they made their own devices to play them, just like a regular DVD player and everything. But they brought them out after DVDs were already cemented into the culture.
Right.
So they never took off. It's just like they had mini CDs as well. And these mini CDs came in like a hard plastic shell that protected the disc. And they were 10 times better than the original CD. But since everybody had already invested in CD players and they invested in this huge library of CDs, nobody wanted to spend the money to go buy this new mini player. You know
what? I knew people that had mini disc recorders that recorded audio, recorded music. I knew people that had them. When they were popular, there was also an audio version of the mini disc. And they would record music onto those little mini discs.
Yeah, but they didn't last long. They lasted about 2.5 years at most.
No, basically ADAT, little mini ADAT recorders replaced those, and they started using those.
RR says GameCube had mini discs. Yeah, that was part of Nintendo's anti-piracy strategy. They also the GameCube, I believe, read from the outside in, and most discs read from the inside out too. That was also part of their anti-piracy.
I still have a bunch of those damn things.
The GameCube is popular, man.
And my GameCube is sitting over my father's house in Trenton.
Did Nintendo make the GameCube?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I never should have gotten rid of mine because I had that stupid proprietary component cable that had the chip in it directly from Nintendo, so I could play in HD on my TV. From the GameCube, and you know what? It just doesn't look as good when you play a GameCube game on the Wii, even though it has HDMI. Well, no wait, it doesn't has component as well. It just doesn't look as good as it did on the GameCube. I don't know why.
Oh.
But yeah, those the digital, because of that stupid chip, those were super expensive, like $100. I could have sold that thing for $100.
So you had to buy name brand.
Oh yeah, you had to
Replacement
buy
cords.
Nintendo. Yep, had to be Nintendo if you wanted to do 480p. Could not be or component. Otherwise, it was composite. Is that what they call that? Composite? I don't know. The one with the single yellow one.
RCA.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
composite would apply to it.
Yeah, I should have held on to that GameCube. I'm kicking myself.
Yeah,
And
my
they're
Uncle
super
Ernie.
expensive
My Uncle Ernie had a Betamax when it was popular.
Yeah, I remember all the VHS stores had both on the shelves at the time. VHS and the Beta right next to it.
Yep. Some places they had a Beta Hi-Fi section and a VHS section. Then other stores they would have them next to each other.
Yeah, I remember in the late '90s, Hi-Fi VCRs started coming out, and I knew some guys that would use the VCRs to record their demo tapes with great sound. And then they would just after they made the master out of the VCR tape, they would then transfer all that to whatever media they were using at the time. Cassette, more than likely. Shit, you don't even see cassettes in the store no more.
Nope. You can find them in thrift stores though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, no, there's a few places that actually starting to sell them again now for some reason.
They're bringing them back.
I think so. It's just like, remember when they got rid of the original cassette players, the audio cassettes?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they started making a comeback and stores started selling them again. And same thing with 33 albums. You started seeing them turn up in different stores like Target and places like that where they started selling them again.
Yeah, and actual records are getting a little more popular too.
Well, what sucked about tapes is that you know what I love about DVDs is you could skip to the next song. With tapes, you couldn't do that. So you know if you had like a Walkman or something, sometimes you could do a little trick where you held down the play button and the fast forward button. Terrible for the tapes, but it'll go and then you'd find the break between the songs.
Yeah. Horrible for the tapes.
Very bad for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to collect live soundboards and sometimes audience tapes of Grateful Dead, but loved getting my hands on soundboard shows. And I had a system. I had a Technics 400-watt system, and there was 100-watt in each speaker channel. And what I would do is two of those speaker channels, right and left, I had two output converters. I'd run them into that, and then I would run that into a tape deck. And then before I'd run it into the tape deck, I would run it through the crossover in my tape deck, then in my receiver, then I would run it back into the tape deck. And it was really complicated to set up. And there was reverb settings on the output converters, and you can turn up the reverb just a little bit, and it would make the recording pop just a little bit more. And I was able to make copies of the soundboard tape where you could not tell the difference between the two generations, because you lose a little something in a recording when you record. When you record from a master tape to a regular tape. And what a lot of people would do is they would record their soundboards and they would make copies, and they would listen to the copies. And when those wore out, they'd make more copies, so that way they weren't always playing their really good soundboards. Because at one point in time, they were hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about that sound recording stuff.
So I've got a little bit of experience with recording audio and stuff, and running audio and all that, by recording soundboards and bootlegs and stuff like that. So things that I learned there can apply to making vocal tracks and blending them in, and So yeah,
Yeah,
and fun times, I'm telling you, man.
I bet. I've been able to do some cool stuff. Well, I remember I used to tape songs off the radio. Um, and that
Yeah,
would
me
suck.
too. Me too.
I would always, get, which sucks. I probably should have hung on to it because it might have some sort of sentimental or curiosity value. But they got recorded over a lot. But you get a little bit of the static, and then you get the part of the DJ, or you cut part of the song off and catch the song after it already started. It was kids today; they have no idea.
No, not at all. Not at all. You got all these other formats. You got and you got MP3s and stuff like that. But I don't really care for MP3s because when bootleg collecting came into the modern age, because basically the Grateful Dead, they have a recording policy. They allow people to record their music live, and so there's existing shows that are out there in circulation. You just got to go to eTree and just find some torrents, and then you download those torrents, because that's how they tape trade, and it's legal. And those are the only torrents that you really want to mess with, because they're legal. They're perfectly legal. I've got so many good soundboards that way, and I've got hard drives in storage that's got probably 200 gigabytes or 300 gigabytes worth of Grateful Dead soundboards, maybe more. But that's basically how people were able to get their soundboards, and it was a modern way. Talk about a perfect digital copy. FLAC files, WAV files. They're basically it's a compression technology that doesn't lose the quality of the audio, and that's why I process the song into a WAV file. It has good sound.
Wow. Yeah, about as deep as I've gotten into mixing things or messing with sound has been Audacity. I've actually been able to do some pretty cool stuff with that.
Audacity is the free one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's how I was able to finally get past the CBS All Access copyright Nazi, copyright people. I would take clips of the trailer when they weren't talking, and I would reverse them.
Oh.
Or when I wasn't talking, I would reverse it, and then I would just talk, and it actually made it a more coherent trailer, I thought.
Interesting.
Yeah. I also splashed giant pieces of poop over it. That helped also.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I haven't heard from FinalDeathStar, so there must be some internet problems down near LA. LA is considered Southern California, right?
Yeah. I think the state's burning again, and it's definitely burning up here in Northern California. I've started smoking again, and I'm not doing it voluntarily.
Yeah, there was a couple summers in a row where there was forest fires in California, Oregon, and Washington State, and there were some pretty big ones, and constant fighting them and all. That was all summer long, man. Real smoky. When it started raining, it really appreciated that because it cleans the air.
Yeah, I would appreciate some rain. Unlikely in late August, but you never know.
Yeah, that's all we've been getting pretty much. I mean, we've only had like maybe so far out of this summer. I think we've only had maybe a week that we didn't get rain.
Wow.
Is it warm? Is it warm when it rains?
It actually cools it down quite a bit.
How's humidity down there? What kind of humidity do you have down there?
It all depends. Sometimes the humidity's sitting around 70, 80.
But is it more of a saltwater humidity?
It's more of a, once again, that all depends on what the week is like. I mean, sometimes it does seem like really muggy, like it just is real heavy. Other times
Right.
it's a little bit more dry. I mean, it just all depends on what the week is like. Usually in the summer, because it's raining enough, even though the humidity's up there, and unless it's just like a still dry heat where it starts getting real muggy from all the extra moisture in the ground and the surrounding area, it's really usually not that bad. So
Because I'm looking and seeing what the humidity is right now.
It's my humidity. It's been pretty gross. It's been hot and
Well, it can be like 60, 70 degrees humidity up here, and it doesn't really feel like it. It has a cooling effect because of the salt water and the Puget Sound.
we're sitting at 48% humidity right now. That's pretty high for summertime.
No, I have this weather app, and they always change it, and they move things around, and they move the humidity. It's like, just leave stuff alone. If it works, don't change it.
well, even in the house here with the air conditioner and all that stuff, my living room's sitting at about 50% humidity.
How much?
50.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Well, and if that's saltwater humidity, that's better than freshwater humidity, because man, that is horribly muggy. Because northwestern Indiana, man, let me tell you, it is swamp, muggy, miserable there in the summertime. I am telling you, man, the humidity there is so bad you could cut donuts out and eat them and get full from it. No, that's an exaggeration, but you get the gist. It's bad. I'd rather go to Louisiana, where it's muggy, because that would be preferable. I'm sure I could handle that a lot better. Because let me tell you, man, it's bad there, man. I'm telling you. Lake
Well, I'm
Michigan.
sure I know that there's places in Florida where the humidity's a lot worse. I'm just in a spot where it's mostly trees and it's not a whole, there's not a lot of ponds. I mean, there's the canals and everything like that, but we're like 40 minutes away from the Gulf, and I don't know, about 2.5, 3 hours away from the Atlantic Ocean. So
67% humidity. And it's bearable. It's pretty bearable, gotta say. And at nighttime, it normally drops down to about 59, 60 during the summer.
the funniest thing is in the wintertime is when our humidity is like kind of odd, just because we don't get hardly any rain in the wintertime. So it's more of a dry heat. So even though the humidity might be high, it's not quite as bad most of the time, but it could still get pretty damn hot in the winter here. I've seen it like 80 something in the winter on a lot of days. I mean, usually I think our average temp is somewhere around 70 in the winter.
Oh wow. Yeah, when it gets muggy here, it's a warm, rainy day. It's like when it was a hot day and all of a sudden became a warm, rainy day, and that's more bearable than what goes on around freshwater humidity when you're up near a large body of fresh water like Lake Michigan or Lake Erie and stuff like that. Humidity is bad, man. Yeah, if you're hearing cicadas and you're in cicada country, you're in one of the most humid areas in the country, for sure.
Well, we have cicadas all over the place.
Yeah, they're all over Indiana, all over the flat state areas. They're all over the place out there, and I've found that normally wherever there are cicadas, it's very humid, very humid. It gets loud in Indiana. The cicadas, my God, man, they are so loud. Some people can't sleep sometimes because they're so loud.
What's a cicada?
It's a little beetle that like attaches itself to a tree.
Oh,
Other than that, I don't really know too much about them. They attach themselves to a tree and they make noise.
what kind of noise?
Oh man, it's really it's sort of like grasshoppers. Probably on a shit ton of coffee and
Well,
very loud.
I'm gonna try to play it for you. See, hopefully this plays.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got a Mediterranean climate here. RR.
Did you catch any of that at all?
I heard a
No.
little bit of it.
Let me crank my volume up.
I'm finding a video that's got the sound of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to play it through my mic since I don't have any good way to do it. Because every time I've ever tried to share something, the sound always gets muted on my end for some reason. But they make this like, I don't know, it's like a ticking sound almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good audio file of cicadas making noise because they are loud, man.
Let's see if I can find one.
I remember my wife had just come home from work one day, and a damn cicada came flying through the air and hit her right in the head. And they're big too, Wes.
They are big. They are big. If you don't know what they are, that can be kind of creepy.
Like getting hit with a small rock.
Yeah, I think I might have found it.
Cicadas in the summer, 10-hour loop. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I got a good file. It's someone from Indiana recorded it. All right, now I'll just send it to myself.
If what I heard was what those beetles sound like, that's a mildly disturbing sound.
You've heard them in movies. I know that they have that noise in movies all the time.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, a horror flick. Right before somebody gets their head lopped off.
All right.
Yeah, I was early on when all I was able to use was my phone to actually go on live streams. I was sitting outside one day, and the cicadas were just extremely loud, and like everybody's like, "What's all that noise?" It's just the cicadas.
All right. I got us a good example of. Pretty sure it's from Indiana because I did Indiana cicada noise. Search. And okay, let's pop that up there. Click the sound. Yep, got the sound. Don't want to boomer it. All right. That's cicadas.
Oh, yeah, I've heard those before.
Yeah, they go all night long. And picture it 20 times louder.
Well, what is it, like a mating call or something?
I believe so. Yep.
Wow.
It's produced by them rapidly flexing an organ in its abdomen. Basically, they've got information on the video below here. I'm pretty sure this person probably from Indiana because that's what it sounds like in Indiana. That's what cicadas sound like. The only difference is when they're full blown, it's full blown mating season. It's freaking loud. You can barely hear yourself. Barely hear yourself think. Let me see here. Parrot had sent me some images.
Yeah, I don't think we have those here.
Probably not. I've never seen them out west. I've never heard that noise out west. This one thing that Indiana night noises is completely different compared to here.
Yeah, I hear a lot of grasshoppers, but and crickets.
All right, let's see here. All right, that's what a cicada looks like.
Oh man, that's a creepy looking thing. Holy shit!
Yeah, but when they're attached, once they attach themselves to the tree, they don't move anywhere.
That thing looks almost prehistoric. That looks like something out of you'd fight in a video game.
And see this when they molt. This is what they look like when they get done molting.
Oh, they look really different.
And you see how it's attached to the tree?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens when they start to molt.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Those things make a whole bunch of noise, man. I'm telling you, they're loud. When I first came out to Washington State, there wasn't really any of the night noises that I remember from Indiana, and it was different. Took a little getting used to.
I bet. Yeah, if you're getting used to that, it would probably seem really different without it. So another monster says, in Maryland, same soundtrack here, and no cicadas in California, but we don't have banana slugs in Maryland.
I think we got banana slugs here. I've seen some pretty big slugs. Not quite as big as a... Thanks, Barrethead. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think one of the weirdest bugs I think I've seen come in the house. I mean, it's not really insect. We had a small scorpion come in the house one day.
Ew.
That was kind of interesting.
What color?
It was clear.
Ooh, those are the bad ones.
No. The clearish looking like ones like that. Yeah, they're not really bad.
Oh, it's the yellowish ones.
Usually it's the really, really dark ones. You gotta watch out for
the black ones.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them.
I heard the small yellow ones were the most poisonous compared to the black scorpions, the big black ones.
Yeah, I'd actually looked up the one that came in the house because I picked it up in a cup, and it apparently crossed over some of the bug spray I have sprayed around the house and outside the doors and stuff.
Huh?
And he was already dying from it. But yeah, I picked them up and I put them in a cup. I was checking them out, so I researched it, and yeah, they're pretty harmless. They're usually underground, and they're pretty much everywhere, from what I understand. You just don't see them very often.
Yeah, I had a friend get bit by a brown recluse spider, and he ended up in the hospital for like 2 weeks. And they had to take a giant chunk of flesh out of his arm because it necrotized it.
Yeah, those things are nasty. You got to get treated right away to hope that anything bad don't happen.
Yeah, my dad got bit by a recluse once.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. When we did when we first moved in, we had a lot of black widows around the house. And that's part of the reason why there's a certain type of wasp that we have down here that I usually, if I see it on the side of the house, I won't kill that wasp nest, because there's a certain type of wasp called the mud wasp. And pretty much the only thing that they go after is things like black widows and different like spiders and stuff. So yeah, kill it with fire.
Kill it with fire. Yeah. Interesting.
I just heard from FinalDeathStar. He's got a Mac version of Streamlabs, and apparently it's causing a CPU power pull, and it's causing problems.
Yeah, I could never really get into Macintosh.
Yeah. That, I cut my teeth on one of those multicolored Apple computers that look like an egg almost.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very first computer that I used, that I learned how to do stuff on.
Yeah, I had an old Macintosh that I think was the first one that I had. It had the black and white screen.
Oh wow, that's old.
Yeah, I was way old.
What
Tiny
kind of
old
valve
screen.
box? RR? Wonder what kind of valve box he means. Is that what they're called? I don't even remember what the thing was called, man. iMac? Huh.
Yeah, it had to have been one of the first. I think what you're talking about is the first iMacs, when Steve Jobs returned and he made them colorful, right? That's what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. Well, I learned how to break that computer and fix it. Of course, yeah. Minor things, But after that, I learned XP and all those other stuff and all that. Computers can be a pain, I'm telling you.
That they can. Well, you can't really get them to last longer than 2 years, it seems like.
It's like, will Macintosh let you install other browsers? Can you do that on a Mac? Install a different browser?
I think you can. I know they have a version of Safari that you can use on a PC.
Right. Because I know nothing about Mac computers. Nothing.
I used to use Safari. Oh, Phil says yes, you can. Okay.
Final, if you're listening, you might want to try and install a different browser if your Mac computer will let you. Computers are funny, man. I'm telling you, they are weird.
Irrigation boxes, yeah.
What kind of irrigation box? Like for your sprinkler system and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Internet Explorer was the default browser on Mac? What?
I don't remember that. I remember it had something.
Safari.
Yeah. That's probably what it was. Because I don't remember the iMacs having Internet Explorer.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't even know that was an option. I would have thought, given the relationship, that there wouldn't have been that as an option.
Oh, it did.
Oh, Safari came later. Oh, okay.
Because it was right around 99. In the fall. Pretty sure it was 99 in the fall.
Yep, that's when those came out.
Yeah, he had one.
Well, Microsoft with the new Edge, they're really trying to copy Chrome. They're not doing a very good job of it because you can't do half the stuff that you need to in Edge that you do in Chrome.
Do you ever notice that the spell check in Chrome is for crap?
I don't think I have it on.
oh, I always have it on just in case, and um, it is not reliable. Even if there's two different ones. There's a light one and there's an intensive one, and I use the heavier one, and it doesn't always work.
Interesting.
Doesn't always work.
Yeah, I find that the autocorrect changes things into the wrong words a lot of times, so I turned it off. After we got full keyboards on phones, why do you need autocomplete?
Wow. Sounds like FinalDeathStar's got some serious problems with his Mac. Well, I've heard that Macs, they can be temperamental.
Yeah, my stepdad swears by Mac. He only buys Macs, but my God, man, those a Mac, a MacBook, those things are like $3,000. Can't be that good. But I know, I guess, well, he's also in audio and video, so supposedly the audio and video software on a Mac is supposed to be really good.
Well, they were top of the line for studio software for computer towers that did studio stuff. My first demo DVD was made on one. And let me tell you, that tower, it was expensive. From what I understand, I think he spent over $5,000 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a tower specifically designed for audio studio production.
What's the name of the program? Was it Final Cut? Is that what it was called?
That's one of them I've heard of.
Yeah, Final Cut, and then there's another one. Power something? Is it Power something?
I'm not sure.
Power Editor? Is that what it is?
That might be.
Phil says, I dislike Macs, but they can be useful tools when you need them. Great for creatives, but not for productivity and gaming. Yeah, supposedly my new laptop's not going to be good for productivity. I guess once you get above 60 hertz refresh rate or something, that's supposed to not be good for productivity on
Really?
the screen. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure gaming laptops rate about 60 hertz. I haven't had any problems.
Yeah, if you go above that, I guess it's an issue. But I'm keeping my old one. I'm gonna. The screen's becoming detached from the cover for whatever reason, so I got a new cover. I think it's because I dropped it and it has an aluminum case and it bent the lid.
Ah.
So I'm getting a new lid. And it was a little.
Well, you know how my lid's held together? You know those little flat T brackets? Metal flat T brackets? Well, I have two taped close to the hinge with Gorilla duct tape holding it together, and I'm able to open it and close it perfectly. And I was going to basically get a screen replacement and all that stuff, and I was like, you know what? It works. The screen looks good. I figured a couple brackets, tape it together, good enough. You know the old saying, if you don't gotta fix it, if you can get by with a quick fix and it works, I'm gonna stick with that.
Yep.
And it worked. And let me tell you, Gorilla duct tape, it's good stuff. Hey,
yep.
What's up? What's up, Tyler Mongo? How's it going?
Hail Tyler Mongo.
All right, let's do a. While Tyler's here, let's do a quick little musical break here.
All right.
Play the new song for him. All right. grand time we can have, walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Need to find a key to find the way out. Western key unlocks the door.
Good night, Phil.
Good night. Grows on to my old tree. Light makes my green light won't go. Green light won't go. Bus won't move. Gotta catch a groove. Gotta move it on down in this time world. 1, 2, 3. He said tree. Time chronometer moving backwards in a backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. Miles and miles down the road. Can't get a spirit, it grows close to me. Be your own captain, my community in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in the backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Need to find a key to find the way out. The Western key unlocks the door. Grows untuned by the old tree. Light makes mine. The green light won't go. The bus won't move. Gotta catch a groove. Gotta move it on down in this round world. 1, 2, 3. He said tree. From time chronometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Time chronometer moving backwards in the backwards world. Go for a drive in the countryside. I can identify with the song that goes. Miles and miles down the road. Kindred spirit, the crow spoke to me. Be your own captain, lasting unity in the community. What a grand time we can have, walking backwards in a backwards world. Well, that's normal to me. Now the world's copying me. Gotta move it on down in this clown world. 1, 2, 3. He said 3. You gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show, waiting for the gig, we're waiting on the rig. We all had things to say, we all know it's true. We raised our glass, we raised them high, till we seen dawn's light. You gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show, waiting for the gig, we're waiting for the rig. We all had things to say, we all know it's true. We raised our glass, we raised them high, till dawn's light. You gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show, waiting for the gig, waiting on the rig. We all had things to say, we all know it's true. We raised our glass high, till we seen dawn's light. Gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show, waiting for the gig, waiting on the rig. We all had things to say, we all know it's true. We raised our glass high till dawn's light. We raised our glasses. Gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig, waiting on the rig. We had some things to say, we know it's true. We raised our glass, we raised them high, till we seen dawn's light. You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Which one do you want to hear next?
We want the sauce. We want it now.
All right. Let's see. Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. That's coming up next. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard the sauce now? Just random info. We want the sauce, and we want the sauce, and we want it now. We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon. It's 4:44 now in the afternoon. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. We will have to wait longer. Will we have to wait longer? Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard the sauce now? Random info. We want the sauce, and we want the sauce, and we want it now. We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon. It's 4:44 now. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. Will we have to wait longer? Will we have to wait longer? Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. 8 weeks times 2. It's 4:34 in the afternoon. Have you heard of the sauce now? Just random info. We want the sauce, and we want the sauce, and we want it now. We want the sauce, and we want it now. Just a random afternoon. It's 4:44 now. We want the sauce right now. Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting times 2. Will we have to wait any longer? Baby, we want it now. 8 weeks of waiting. Will we have to wait longer? Been sitting here for 8 weeks now. Times 2. It's 4:44 in the afternoon.
always a fan favorite.
Oh, indeed. And I think this is what our one of the here. Is your love on fire? Wind over earth, fire and sea. Call the clarion, raise the fire. It takes a historian to call the clarion. You need a wind caller. Call the elemental of the earth. A touch of fire spirit, salt of the sea. The fourth wave, always back, 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Maybe we could, maybe we should do something about it. It's not the end, it's just a little bending of the fourth wavelength. Universe changing, mind bending, never ending. Gotta get some, it takes a historian to call the clarion. Then you need a wind caller, then you need elements of the earth. A touch of fire, a little salt of the sea. The fourth wave, always back, 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Love on fire, wind over earth, fire at sea. Call the clarion, raise the fire. It takes a historian to call the clarion. You need a wind caller, call the elemental of earth. A touch of spirit, salt of the sea. The fourth wave, always back, 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is real? Let's catch the deal. Maybe we could, maybe we should. Let's do something about it. It's not the end, just a little light bending. The fourth wavelength, universe changing, mind bending, never ending. Gotta get some, it takes a historian to call the clarion. Then you need a wind caller. Then you need a wind caller. You need elements of the earth, little salt of the sea. The fourth wave, always back, 4 doors to go, 4 steps away. What is the deal? Let's catch the deal. Love on fire, wind over earth, fire and sea, call the clarion. Raise the fire, it takes a historian. Call the clarion, you need a wind call. Call the elemental of the earth. Now.
All right. That is a good one.
Oh, it did something it wasn't supposed to. Ah, damn it.
Whoops. Technical difficulties, folks. Bear with us.
Well, the buttons kind of move when you move the mouse away, and see that? Freaking tricky. I'm telling you. That button was moving on me, and I ain't making that up. This next song here is a true story. It's a ballad of tragedy, basically. I was 2 days away from turning 19, and back then, me and a bunch of my friends, we were going to an adult high school, and so pretty much from 18 and up, because you had to be 18 to enroll at this place. And At least that's how it was back then. They may have changed rules. But there was a group of us that loved the Grateful Dead and had been to Grateful Dead concerts with each other, and we would hang out. We'd hang out, and my dad was kind of cool, you know. And in my adult years, me and my dad, we hung out and we got along that way. We were great friends in that way. And so we were hanging out. We would hang out and go have coffee at my dad's on our lunch break from school, because we normally had about an hour or so to burn. And so we got together and always hung out, and we used to hang out and do things. And so that basically it was. It left a hole in us when it happened. My friend Rob Payne, he got hit by an Amtrak train.
Oh, jeez.
And he was driving. It was a pretty nice sized car. It was a Cutlass. I think it was a Cutlass Salon. I think it was the '89 model, maybe the '88 model. And between his house and town, there was railroad tracks that did not have any flashers. It just had the crisscross warning sign. And everybody in that area never stopped, just went across it. And he got hit by that train. And from what we found out, he was dead by the time he hit the ground. He got knocked out of the vehicle. He wasn't in the vehicle after the fact. And so the brother had one of the largest funerals I ever seen, and there was a lot of people from all over maybe all over the country in some cases, and there's a lot of us there. And this is a song about that. It was a cold November day. This is the ballad of Rob Payne. We will miss you, Mr. Payne, like a robin in flight. Life struck short by a train. I tell you, you felt the pain. Missed the coffee meetups. My. We cried and we cried. Oh my, we had the blues. A train took our brother's life. Too soon, in the prime of his life. Train got my friend, took his life. We spilled the drink in his name and sung dirges till dawn's light. It was a cold November rain. This is the ballad of Rob Payne. We will miss you, Mr. Payne, like a robin in flight. Life struck by a train. I tell you, we felt the pain. Mr. Coffee meetups, my. We cried, we cried. Oh my, we had the blues. A train took our brother's life. Too soon, my. In the prime of life. Train got my friend, took his life. We spilled drinks in his name and sung dirges till dawn's light. It was a cold November rain day. This is the ballad of Rob Payne. We will miss you, Mr. May. Like a robin in flight. So yeah, that one. The audio on that one was very tricky. It was very difficult. It was not an easy song to make. And the vocals, my vocals were just a little bit hot, and so when I did the final master of the song, I made the levels to where it wouldn't basically kill people's ears. And I've got the locals just right at the level where it didn't make the speakers go crazy and make weird sounds. Because blues songs, man, they can be loud, man. They can make speakers thump and stuff like that. And my vocals were quite intense on that one. So what'd you think, Wes? Hello.
Oh, I was talking. Oh, okay. I had myself muted.
You were muted. Hey, I've done it.
It's a great song. It's an amazing tribute. It's a very good song. I really like it a lot, and it tells a great story too.
Yeah.
Good night, Parrot Head.
Good night, Parrot Head.
That Parrot Head.
Yeah, I didn't fall asleep this time, guys. I just have myself muted. I'm wide awake. Here, I'll show you. Wide awake.
So yeah, the vocal tracks when I had made the main track and then I made the background vocal track. Yeah, they were loud. They were loud. And I probably hindsight, I probably should have had the vocal gain turned down just a little bit. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of the stuff that my old guitar player used to do. And he was like heavy into blues and jazz, so.
Yeah, because I of course I get my influence from Grateful Dead, but I gotta say I get a lot of my influence from blues and in some cases maybe funk, and of course I like punk music. I like it all, and I really like Against Me. I like what they do. Highly recommend you check them out. Good stuff. But I had a friend of mine, Eric Lambert, who I used to roadie for him, and I'd help him set up. I'd be out there, standing out there, listening and sound and stuff like that, and I didn't ask for it, but you know what? I always got in free, and my coffee. At that time, I had quit drinking. I quit drinking for like almost 7 years, and at the time, coffee and soda was it, and I got free coffee and free soda, and I helped my friend set his equipment up, whether he was playing acoustic or with the whole band. The whole band was called the Laughing Gnomes. Definitely blues rock, Grateful Dead influence, and lots of blues going on there. Allman Brother, he used to cover a lot of Allman Brothers and stuff like that. He had his own stuff that had a very bluesy sound, and a bunch of great people around that, man, and all that good stuff, man. Good times. That was back in 97 to probably 98, technically 96 to 98. Talk about fun time. Yeah. There was this lounge called the Backdoor Lounge that we would go to. It was in, I think it's Griffith, Indiana. It's real close, not too far from Gary, the east side of Gary, in Indiana. And we used to go there, man, and it was, I gotta say, man, that place, it was the weirdest thing I had ever seen. Um, Hippies and rednecks getting along, man. It was the weirdest thing I ever seen. And there'd be a bunch of hippies and a bunch of rednecks getting along, actually talking to each other and being friendly and stuff. It blew me away. It was one of the most weird places to ever see any band play, for that matter. I had a friend that worked the bar there. People used to call that bar for me when my friend was playing because they knew that I was helping him set up. And my insurance guy, who I was, on first name basis, and I would always go in there and talk with him and all that. He was real cool, and he couldn't make it out. He was such a nice guy. He called the bar to let me know. I kid you not. It was one of those things, and everybody heard me. They called for me up to the bar and all that, and I went up and see what's going on and all that. It was the weirdest thing, man. Being a roadie for a little while, that was, I gotta say, it was unique perspective for sure.
I bet.
Yeah, and I used to help him basically set stuff up, and he always needed the ear out in the crowd because every bar size wise is different, and they don't all got good acoustics, and sound and all that, and so I'd be out there, and I knew what sounded right and what sounded good, and he'd do stuff, and I either thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm like, it's either down or I point to the left. That means more left, less right. And so yeah, it was guy's name's Eric Lambert. Look him up. He's got great stuff. He's a great guitarist. He can shred some electric blues, I'm telling you. Hey, Tommy, why don't you go ahead and drop your link in the chat and tell them where they can find you.
Thanks, Bear. I am Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, the most hated guinea pig on YouTube. You can find me on my channel, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, where we talk about lightsaber theory, older movies, toy talks, and we do a Monday live stream every week. Retro discussions going old school, where we talk about and reminisce about those old franchises that we still hold dear to this day. I want to thank Bear, and I want to thank Wes Moody, and I would like to thank all the awesome people that were in the chat tonight. I wish I could stay on longer, but well, Bear knows why I can't. So
it's all good, brother.
Yep.
Hey, I always appreciate it, Bear, and I really do. I am thankful that you get to have me on.
Hey,
Awesome.
man, I like to share the love, and if others want to share the love, then that's awesome too. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, definitely need it. Definitely need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome talk so far.
Because
I love that
man,
frickin' bluesy songs.
we're getting nothing but younger.
Yeah, right.
I actually looked at in 2012. I had a beard, and I found a picture, and my hair was still long at that point too, and the white patches I got, here, and here, they weren't there then. Be warned. That's what having kids and married will do.
Yes, the kids especially. I noticed that my hair is starting to darken a little bit since the daughter moved out. But
poof.
Oh,
well, and it's all of a sudden it happened. Yeah. But we're gonna go on for a little bit longer. Tommy's just gonna take off.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Hey, you know what they say? Moisturize. Drink some water.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna grab something to eat. I'm gonna get something to drink, and I'm gonna relax for a few minutes and hopefully get some sleep.
All right, man.
So, all right.
Get some good rest, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. I will talk to you later,
All
y'all.
right, take care.
All
Later.
right, we'll see you next time, Tommy.
See, now I know Tommy has got some good band stories because he used to be in a band, and that's kind of why I value his opinion on when I got a song put together, and I know he'll give it to me straight. I
Absolutely.
know, I know if it's not there, he'll tell me what's not there or what I need to work on, and then I'll go look at it. And a lot of these newer songs, there's no reverb at all on my voice. Now, on this last one I just did, what I did is the main vocal track, I doubled it up so it's like quadraphonic sound because each track turns into stereo. And so I turned two main vocal tracks into two stereo channels. And then that gets fed into two stereo channels after it gets mixed down. And good night, Mikhail. Have a good one.
Hi,
I just
Mikhail.
noticed that you're going to bed. Good night. So yeah, and so when I did that, doubled those up, and what I did is there's a reverb setting that I discovered in here that's really, really light. On some PA systems that got that little bit, a tiny bit of echo, barely noticeable, but it sounds like it gives it some depth. That's pretty much what I added to just one of the tracks. It's very minimal, and that's the only little bit of reverb that I used. Everything else, because there's the background vocal track and there's the other main vocal track, no reverb. And so the reverb was very, very light on one of the tracks, and that's it.
Yeah, it serves the song well.
Yeah. And I've been growing this beard out, man. I ain't had a beard since basically 2012, and it can be itchy sometimes.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah, and the last time I had a beard that was of any length, it was down to here past my collar at one point, years ago. But when I moved out west, I started shaving. Get used to shaving after a while. And when you don't grow a beard for a while, you got all these whiskers that ain't come up in a long time. And when they start doing it, it's frickin' itchy. So yeah, I really liked this the Menagerie Part 1 and 2. I thought the Part 2 Menagerie, I thought it fulfilled the expectations.
Yeah, it really did, and I think I actually like Part 2 a little bit more than Part 1 because the pace seems to really pick up in Part 2. You've got the story with Pike, which if you haven't seen it before, you're wondering what's going to happen with that and the Telosians, what's so important about the planet.
Yeah.
And then you have the court-martial and what's happening with Spock. What's going to happen with the ship. The ship's on course. You can't change the course. It's very well done.
Yeah, it was everything was right where it needed to be, and if there was any questions, they pretty much got answered. It was amazing. There was not much to question about it. Although there is one thing I did notice. Some of the dialogue. One of the aliens, when in the scene where Pike figured out that they're tricking them, that their phasers really work, and they're stopping them from being able to see it. So he really did put a hole in the transparency, as they called it. Yep. And so yeah, water.
Well, here's something that I noticed: a slight difference between the cage and the Menagerie, and that's when I believe in the cage when he thrusts himself against the transparency, there's a noise, but in the Menagerie, it's silent.
Oh, good catch.
Yeah,
I did not notice that.
But
yeah, the one thing that one alien did was basically wrong thinking will be punished. And it kind of made me think about what's going on right now with wrong think and all that stuff, and
Yep.
the other part of that was right thinking will be rewarded. And I couldn't help but think about everything that's going on right now. And honestly, there's a real reason why we're not really talking about all of that, and we're talking about some of the entertainment that we love. And we're gonna have to do something for Wookiee supremacy because he's not all big on the TOS, and not everybody is. And we'll have to find something that's kind of really cool that we can do.
Could try puppets, I guess. Hey, everybody. Let's talk about something other than Star Trek.
Yeah.
I should have gotten a sock for that. Sorry, I didn't feel like getting up.
Hey, when you're sitting in one place for a little while, everything stiffens up.
Tell me about it.
Because, I didn't set my comfy little chair that I can put on the edge of my bed, and I can sit in it and lean back against it. Nice and plush, one of those folding, flat gaming chairs. You can sit in the ground or put it on some. It's perfect, comfortable, and I didn't set it up. I was too busy setting stuff up, I guess.
I'll need to get one of those eventually because this is very uncomfortable. This seating arrangement that I have now. I mean, it looks cool, but it's really uncomfortable.
Hey, RR, Wes could tell you about behind the scenes. And
yeah, I was there when
and Tyler Mongo. Yeah, he seen me put a mix together, and I spliced them together, and you couldn't tell that they were 4 tracks. It was more along the lines of metal, and my vocal range. I don't really have the vocal range for metal. It's because basically when I was, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but when I was in middle school in Indiana, music was required. You were required to take music. And we had this music teacher, and she was good. And so I was the top range. What is that? A baritone?
So you've got you got a bass, and then you have a tenor. Then you have what's a bar?
A tenor's a little bit high pitched, right?
Yeah, a tenor is a little higher pitched. Yeah.
I'm a little below a tenor.
Yeah.
I'm almost a baritone. I can do some deep tones. But I can do some highs. But yeah.
I tell you, man, anytime I try and do those real highs when I'm doing my karaoke stuff, or when I'm giving when somebody posts a song lyric, then I'll do just a little ditty. That can hurt.
It's hard to do high, I forget what it's called. There's baritone, there's alto, and it's been years since that. But it was so detailed. Basically, it taught us how to sing.
Yeah, they don't really do that anymore. They don't have a lot of that stuff anymore.
And we had one of those and she was the tallest and kind of pretty a little bit music teacher, but she was kind of stern but kind of nice at the same time. And everybody in that class behaved. Plus, her class was fun. She always made her class fun. It was fun for sure.
All right, I found the scale here. Here, I'll share it. So at the low range, you have an alto and a bass. There's an alto.
Yeah.
And then you have the mediums are a baritone and a mezzo soprano. And then the high voices are tenors and sopranos. There you go.
Yeah, I think I'm in the medium range area.
Yeah, I think you'd definitely probably fall in the baritone category. Yeah, R says they didn't have that at my high school. They closed auto shop and wood shop my sophomore year. That's exactly what happened to me, RR. They had, so we had music, we had a guitar class, and we had an auto shop, all kinds of cool electives to choose. And then all these budget cuts came down. And so I picked auto shop, and I picked guitar. Those were the only two electives that interested me. And they said, yeah, sorry, we've got budget cuts, so we don't have a guitar class and an auto shop class anymore. How about arts and crafts? And I said, no, I really want to do guitar and an auto shop. And they said, so unfortunately, the only elective classes we have are arts and crafts. And I was like, well, fuck. That's not a choice. So I did end up kind of liking art. Crafts, I was not so good at the crafts, unfortunately. I did carve a relief of the Grim Reaper out of a block of wood. That was kind of cool. It was pretty crude, but, whatever. I would have preferred
on your scale of crudeness, where would it fare at?
Well, it wasn't like nasty crude. Like I didn't carve him with a giant dong or anything. It was just crude. Like it wasn't. I didn't sand it and smooth it out. It was just me taking God damn it! What are those things? An awl and what were the other ones?
Oh man!
You got an awl, then you have
wood tools, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I just carved it out that way, and I didn't sand it or anything, and I painted it black, and then I painted the tip of the tip of the Reaper silver, and then I had blood dripping down.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I got marked down because he wanted us to make it look pretty and sand it down and stain it. And I was like, it's the Grim Reaper. It's supposed to be black. Those were not your instructions. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to be in your fucking class in the first place.
Yeah, I was in high school. We actually had in our freshman year, we had an actual woodshop class, and it was the real deal, man. We built. One of the assignments was to build a foundation, 2 walls, and a partial roof. And that's what we did. And we did other things too, but it was, I gotta say, it was a pretty cool class. Worked with wood quite a bit in the shop class, man. There was some metal stuff going on. They made dustpans, metal dustpans. Also did that.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a better teacher than I did. I didn't like my teacher very much.
We didn't like him. His name was Mr. Woodruff, and we did not like that guy. This guy, he was an asshole.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He didn't like us having any fun, laughing, and all that stuff. He was a real stickler, man.
Yeah, I can't really think of too many teachers that I really liked, now that I think about it. Most of them really didn't seem to like their job very much. It's like, why did you become a teacher if you hate it so much?
My cool art teachers in middle school, Mr. Wagner and big huge guy. I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, those two guys, they were the coolest guys. And he didn't care what his students did. And so me and my friend, we were in the bathroom. We had just got done smoking a cigarette, and then for just shits and giggles, we were chewing some tobacco, and so Mr. Hodges and Mr. Wagner, there you go, Mr. Hodges, come in the bathroom, and they caught us. They could smell the cigarette smoke. It was obvious. We were caught. We weren't doing it, but they smelled it, and they knew. And Mr. Hodges reached right down my pants and grabs my can of chew. I kid you not. He goes, do this on your own time, not mine. If you got to go to the bathroom, that's one thing. I don't care what you do. Don't break my rules. Do whatever you want, just don't break my rules. And that was it. Didn't send us to the principal. Gave me my chew back. And we never, ever skipped his class or anything to do anything like that ever again. Both of them caught us. And the reason why both of them snuck up on us, because we had 2 different art classes, in Mr. Wagner's class and then his class. And they were back to back. And we were doing it during Mr. Wagner's class, too. And so that's kind of why he was there, too. and we got the eyebrow from him. It's like, yeah, I know what you guys been doing. That's why I'm here. So, yeah.
I never got caught smoking at school, although I smoked a lot in school, which is kind of weird. I'm surprised I didn't get caught, but I don't know. Yeah, I really greatly RR is right. California schools are terrible. And I went to one of the better high schools in Sacramento, too.
Wow. How's it going, Brutal Morningwood?
Hail, Brutal Morningwood.
Hail. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Me back in the 5th grade, I had a 12th grade reading level, but classified me ED. 6th grade, put me in a room and let me play Uno all day. By 12th grade, I had a 5th grade reading level. Yeah, Brutal Morningwood, they do that. They did something like that to me because I was advanced in reading, but I was bad in math. And so they told my mother that she was not teaching me properly. So they tried to slow me down in my reading. And she raised a big fuss about it. And so they didn't ultimately end up doing it. But they do that in California schools. They don't like it when you outpace their curriculum. But I wasn't a very good student. I didn't really like doing homework. So I didn't have the best grades.
Well, let's see. I didn't learn how to read until 6th grade. I had an awesome English teacher, and I could barely read. 6th grade, I had the most awesome English teacher, and by the time 7th grade came along, I had a junior college level reading level. Yep. But everything else was in the frickin' basement. I was in learning disabled classes. And they didn't call it ADHD back in those days. They called it learning disabled hyperactive disorder is what they called it back then. And but basically, yeah, it's the ADHD. And I've learned to use it like kind of like a superpower. I can probably catch about 80%, 90% of 3 different conversations going on. Any more than that, and they'll drive me nuts. Oh man, math. I can do basic math, man, but all that other stuff, no way.
I'm not really good at. See, I'm super stubborn, Bear. So if I see something and if there's not a point to it, I just won't do it. I just won't do it. I'm like, this makes no goddamn sense. When am I gonna ever use this? So I'll just ignore it and block it out and not even fuck with it. And I had some really bad teachers too. I mean, this was right around when all those budget cuts and crap were happening.
What year?
Yeah, we had like leaky root. Huh?
98, 99.
Who, me?
Yeah.
91 to 95 was when I was in high school. Yeah, it was right around that recession that was happening that got George Bush, when it was last year's in office.
Yeah, I was the class in 1990.
Yeah. And so you got out right when all that was starting then.
Right. Basically, that the 1990s was the upside down 60s.
Sort of.
Yeah. It was the upside down 60s, metaphorically speaking, because there was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on in the 90s. And number one, the Grateful Dead resurgence and touring. They got larger and got larger and got larger. It was a huge thing, and that was the biggest. That it built momentum from the 80s into the 90s, and it peaked. And hell of a thing, you know. Hell of a thing when you see this many people coming to see a rock and roll band. You know what I'm saying? Momentous.
I remember that Dead resurgence. We had a lot of neo hippies in high school. I remember.
Hey man, I know for a fact that a lot of people I ran into they were fucking lost, big time, and they went to see the Grateful Dead, and then they were completely different people overnight.
Yeah.
I ran across all kinds of people. One particular in 1990, I ran into a couple, and he basically he was a mechanic and he had lost work, and he drove across country to see if he can find work in that area. And so he went to Grateful Dead concert and all that. And a year later, he was working at a mechanic shop and all that, and he went from being lost, him and his family, to being found. So Grateful Dead has changed people's lives in a lot of different ways.
I've heard that from other people. Absolutely.
Yeah, changed my life. I probably would have been a dark and evil person had it not been for the Grateful Dead.
Bear, there's a few turns in my life where I could have been a pretty dark and evil person, or just a very unhappy and lost person also. And, just can't carry grudges around. You just have to be grateful. You have to have gratitude.
I miss the rules that I was able to break and get away with. That was fun. That's the only thing that I really miss about middle school and high school, because I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun back then. Me and my friends, we had lots of fun. Some of it sometimes involved alcohol, but that's the nature of that area. Alcohol's huge. I never seen nothing in my life, man. Teenagers from middle school all the way to high school drinking like fish, man. Telling you. And this was late 80s into the 90s. And cruising, that's back when cruising was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Hail Makini. Welcome, my friend.
How you doing, man? So, yeah, there was cruising, partying on Central Ave. Teenagers openly drinking, parking next to McDonald's. People cruising. Cops didn't do shit about it. This was probably from, this went on like this from, I want to say, 88, 89, 90, and 91. I think it was 1990 that the police started cracking down because hotheads would get into fights, and then that's what brought the attention to everything. They didn't give a shit because there were some brutal ass fights, man, or people got hurt. There were some badasses that did some damage out there, and I used to run with a lot of them. And interesting times back in those days. I remember when I was a teenager, was with my friend Shane and his brother, and we were going because we had dunes. There was dunes all over the place in Indiana, and so we were going through these dunes, and a branch flipped back and hit him. I turned around, and man, I got slammed, and he knocked me on my ass. And he goes, "Don't ever do that again. Don't ever let a branch go back and hit someone." And because I think he was like 18, I think I was 14, 15. And he knocked me on my ass. And he didn't hurt me, but he did knock me on my ass. And he helped me up. And I learned something from that. that never happened again.
Yeah.
But that shit don't happen no more, man. So like little things like that, into their life lessons. Life lessons, But hey, his nickname was Stormin' Norman. Great guy, man, great guy. Good people.
Yeah, see, right when I got into high school, that's when they started taking all the cruising away and all that stuff. So we didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah. You know, when they start taking away the fun stuff and taking away things that people enjoy, that's you got to kind of start worrying a little. Just a
Yeah,
little.
they're starting to do organized cruises now with classic cars and that kind of stuff. But there's certain it's Americana, it's spontaneity, being able to hop in a car and get into some trouble.
Yeah. And you got the innocent stuff, car shows, little cruises and stuff like that when car shows are around and stuff like that. That's innocent. That's cool to see the cars going up and down the strip for a little while, you
Yeah.
know, you know, because I love a good scene where hot rods are going up and down the streets. I mean that's where Americana was at. Hot rods, people working on their cars. I grew up watching these people turn a standard formula into a very fast piece of machinery.
Yep.
And we're talking a stack through the hood and huge fat tires. Car. I watched that guy do that to the car from beginning to end. And there was a lot of guys in the neighborhood. There was a Chevelle Super Sport, a '69 the guy had, beat up. He fixed it up, put fat wheels on it, and man, it could contend with that formula. And there's a lot of that stuff that I grew up with and that people were doing, and it still goes on today and stuff like that. Hot rods are a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
It's
I've always
it's
had.
hot rods are part of that Americana, that drive. It's just a thing, man. Songs have been made about hot rods and cars and stuff like that. I
Yep.
mean, I talk about going for drives and some of the songs I do, because that's where those memories are at, driving cross country, doing crazy stuff with a Volkswagen Jetta GLI. Yeah. I
Give me
had
fuel, give me
friends.
fire, give me that which I desire.
I had this. It was '86 Volkswagen Jetta GLI Wolfsburg Edition. It was a four-cylinder, but it was a very fast four-cylinder. It had full disc brakes all around, basically Porsche braking system. It had a Porsche slant on the engine. It was fast. And the max speed I had that car up to was 142. And I had the speedometer buried, so I was probably doing almost 150, easy. I was going through the Pocono Mountains, driving up and down the main highway in the Poconos. It's famous.
Mhm.
I can't remember the route number of it, but yeah. And then a few months later, I had friends. We go for drives and all that stuff, and um, we were going for a drive and all that. And in Indiana, there's nice curvy, cool roads that you can do some stuff on, have some fun, up and down little curvies. There are some hills, because closer to the lake, you got sand dunes, hills, and all that stuff. Then I passed this car, and there was a hill that used to be tracks. It was a slight little hill, real smooth. And it was in a 35 zone. There was no cars on the road. There wasn't no curve or anything like that. And so I popped around and popped it in third. And I hit about 70 mile an hour within seconds and popped around him and jumped. Did a little jump, and there was this much room between our vehicles.
Huh.
They were holding on, going, oh shit, we're gonna die, oh shit, holding on. But yeah, I scared the hell out of them. And I purposely did that because somebody was in the back seat kind of pissing me off. Backseat driving stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's a good reason to do that.
So I scared the hell out of him. I think I was 23 at the time. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with cars over the years. I may not always had a nice car, but I've definitely always had a fun car.
Yeah, and the one my dream van, because it's a decent van. It's the Falcon van, the Ford F-150 Falcon van. Yeah, it's a '67, all decked out. And And when it's got the slant six, the straight six in it, those are
Mhm.
really, really good on gas and real decent engines.
Yeah, the 300.
Yeah. I think they got one that's just a little bit smaller. I think there's a 250.
Yeah, there's a 250. Yeah, the 250 is
Yeah,
smaller. But
it is smaller. If you can get your hands on the 250, it's really, really fuel efficient. The 300 is too, but they're an interesting van. You can get the 300 and you can kind of soup it up a little bit, make it a little faster. But those are beautiful vans, especially when they're redone, decked out. Yeah,
I think my aunt had one.
and that's a cab over. You sit on top of the front wheels in that kind of van. I love those. I had a Volkswagen van. I loved how the ride felt. You're on top of the front wheels. Oh
Hmm.
man, there's nothing like riding in a van that does that. The feel is completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't like it for some reason. I've not driven one. I've always been curious about driving one to see what that felt like.
It's unique. It feels like you're being pushed instead of being pulled. It's cool. Yeah, and eventually I hope to get a van like that all decked out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come by these days.
Oh, they're out there. Um, and for about between 4 and 6 grand, you can pick a nice one up that's already fixed up and done, made over.
It's not
I've,
bad.
the highest I've seen is 11,000. That was really, really nice. And they have, you can either get the three on the tree or you can get the automatic.
Which
Um,
one would you go for?
I'm kind of tore because I like a stick shift, but three in a tree, I've never driven a three in a tree. They are the most difficult to learn. I would have to relearn how to drive a stick shift with that kind, honestly.
It's not that bad. It is different though. It's real different.
Yeah. Now, it was easier to learn how to ride a motorcycle for me than to uh, learn a three on a tree because I've tried before. Yeah, it was easier to learn how to ride a 50cc bike than it was the three on a tree. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, for sure that is. But yeah, three on the tree. Yeah, I had a friend that had an old Bronco, and they had three on the tree. It's very different. Yeah, I definitely prefer floor shift over three on the tree. But
Yeah.
that's what they used to do.
Now, if there was one with a floor shifter in one of those vans, I would go for that. But I don't know that they made any that were like that.
It'd probably be easy enough to retrofit one. Most of those 3 speeds they came floor shift. So I mean, you'd have to. Oh wait,
No,
hold
it's on
on.
the column. It's on the column.
Never mind. The way it's set up, yeah, the
Yeah.
transmission would be way, yeah,
There's a Dodge
really.
that's like that. There's a GMC, the same style of van. It's a cab over.
Mhm.
There's Dodge, Ford, and there's a Chevy, and there's a GMC version. And I had a chance once to get the cab over GMC version, and it was a decent price. Ran really good. I should have done it. I should have got it. It was only about $1,100, and engine ran perfect. Everything was perfect about it, but it just wasn't what I was looking for at that time. But I should have got it because it was painted camo and everything was somewhat. It was a van, a little beat up but used and put together, and it would have been worth $1,100 for sure.
Is that what they wanted?
Yeah, yeah, should have got it.
Totally would have been worth 1,100
Yeah,
bucks. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. It
I
was.
mean, you're not going to lose at 1,100 bucks, even if you
It
find a
was.
bunch of stuff wrong with it.
It was either a '69 or a '68. I can't remember which year, but it was the GMC version of the cab over. Nice vans, really nice. There's one that drives around here that I see every now and then. I think there was a Chevy version. I forget what it's called.
Let me hold on. Look it up.
And you know what's funny? When I was a kid, I could tell you every make and model of cars. Had them memorized. Now, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
Because
Find myself
when
getting
you
what's cheesed as well. My brain.
yeah when you become a teenager, you start chasing other particular body styles and models. Okay.
Okay, I think I see the Chevy cab over.
Yes, it was. I also like tuner bikes. I like to watch those shows where they build tuner bikes and all that stuff. That's just awesome.
Yeah, the Chevy one looks a lot different.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a little different. There's a GMC version too. I believe it's the same body style and everything. It's just the GMC.
That's supposed to be the Chevy version.
Yeah, there's one that. Oh, that's they lowered the roof on that one. Either that, they did a lower on the body.
I think they lowered the body.
And there's one that's very similar to that drives around locally here. But that's pretty much what was for sale, and it was spray painted camo. It didn't look bad. Should have got
That thing's big. Looks bigger than the Ford for sure.
it. It might be, but size wise, they were relatively similar. The Dodge and the Ford, the Falcon, Econoline, and the Chevy, and then there's a GMC version of the same body style of this.
Interesting.
Is there such a thing as a clickless mouse?
I don't know.
Because I need to find one, man. Because every now and then, at the end or beginning of a video or a song, I can hear the click of my mouse.
I think the best you can do is just to do the touchpad on your laptop and just double tap.
That is true. I never use it.
I much prefer a mouse over the touchpad. The touchpad, I don't know, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I like my little. It's a COO brand, and it's better than the other one I got. My other one's backup. When this one battery dies, I got that one as a backup. Hey, there's nothing worse than the batteries in your mouse when you're in the middle of a live stream going dead. That's happened to me. That happened like 2 months ago.
Yeah, my batteries seem to last a really long time. I don't think I've ever replaced the ones in this one.
What I like about this one is when it's not being used, it just goes into standby mode.
Yeah, that's what mine does.
Really saves battery. And I don't have to turn it off because when I shut the laptop off, it turns off. And that's cool. Because some mouses, man, they'll stay on after your laptop shuts off.
Yep.
You got to turn them off. And this one, don't have to turn it off.
Thank God for laser mouses, because
Yeah.
the ones with those wheels would get all gummed up and they'd stop working.
Oh man, I knew someone who had one. They're nice at first, but they just don't hold up.
Yeah, they pick up whatever's on the surface you're using, get dirty and gummed up.
Right.
Yeah, see, I don't even use a mouse pad. I don't need to with this thing.
Oh, you don't have a mouse pad?
Nope, don't need one. Not with a laser one.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
You got a good one?
It's an HP. For whatever reason, my laptop that I have now is an HP and it has Bluetooth. And so you'd think that this would sync up with the Bluetooth on the laptop, but it only syncs up with the stupid Bluetooth little dongle, so it takes up one of my USB ports. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that's how my mouse is.
So I had to get one of those USB multi-taps to be able to run the mic and the camera and my controller when I do my video gaming streams.
Yeah, I'm able to get away with 4 ports, although I do have a USB port that I use for my Android box, so I can have multiple flash drives hooked up to it if need be. But I've got my input that I use on one of my USB ports. That's where my headset and my mic plugs into. And then I have the USB for my camera. Then there's another USB port. That's one of the fast ports. It's got the blue color.
Yeah.
I use that for transferring stuff between my phone and the laptop. And of course, I have here.
I think I have a USB-C, but I never used the USB-C ever.
I have one of these that I'll put a SD card in, and I got a slot in the laptop for it, if need be. And of course, my mouse is plugged into the only USB port on the right side. So yeah, I've got my eyes out for a good USB hub. I've had my eyes out for a little while now. Probably going to end up getting one, because most of the good ones are powered. From what I remember, I'm going to have to check it out again. I'm sure everything that I looked at before is old now, old technology.
Probably. I used to think 8 gigs of RAM was great, but not for the stuff we're doing.
Oh yeah, I've got 16.
Yeah, you got to have 16 if you want to do anything with this stuff and multitask.
And my video card, it's 6 gigabytes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And so that with the RAM, and still Power Director still sometimes wants to crash, because it uses a whole ton of resources. And I've got modes I can set my laptop in, and I've always got it set to power mode, because you really can't do anything unless it's set in high power mode, gaming mode basically. Let's see. Yeah, I've also got a turbo fan mode. And when I'm rendering or when I'm doing projects, I turn that fan on. Because right now my CPU is 70 Celsius.
That's not too bad.
And I'm not running the turbo fan, because I'm in high performance mode. And I'm only using 1% of my GPU. That's not too bad. I've never really noticed. I never noticed how much GPU that StreamYard uses, but it's only using 1%. And
I think that if you're running something like OBS probably takes a lot more of that to run.
right.
I think StreamYard, it's mostly going through StreamYard.
Yeah. And for my GPU temperature, it's not even hot enough to register right now. It just says NA. It's not too bad. because I can bring that Jeep the CPU temperature down. Just turn the turbofan on. But yeah, it comes in handy, man, when you're doing intense work, when you're rendering, because when I create a layered effect on Power Director on my laptop, there could be layers of particles that you can see through. It's like I discovered there's a story about how I got this laptop. It's definitely a bargain find. And so yeah, and it can be very intensive on the stuff you're doing. And I can literally have 8 layers of a bunch of different particles where I created basically a whole effect. And basically right before and as I do stuff, because it tends to crash, because it's a very intense program. It uses all resources. I use 100% of my CPU when I use Power Director, anywhere from 80 to 100% almost. And
Wow. What processor are you using?
I have it's a Core i7.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good processor.
Oh yeah, because I have Engine 3 NVIDIA GTX 96M.
Oh, okay.
And my exhaust system is the Killer E 2200, and it's super rate too.
Yeah, what really helps, is having that solid state drive. That makes everything go a lot faster.
Oh my god, man! From cold start, it takes 9 seconds to boot up. Every time.
I don't know how I ever lived without a solid state drive.
And I don't either, man. I'm telling you, I can't go back to a mechanical drive ever, because it would be, oh my god, pulling my hair out so slow. Literally. Because there's my other laptop, mechanical drive. It's good for streaming, but anything that's really intensive, you can watch a movie. I have my Windows 7 laptop is set up like a movie server, so I got some movies on there, and I can watch them through my TV. Networked it, kind of cool.
Nice.
So yeah, and I've made those 8, 9, some cases 12-layer particle effect layers, and it with all the bells and whistles and with 16 gigabytes and with all of that, really good setup. It still took. It was a 12-minute video. It still took 40 minutes.
Wow.
Between 30 and 40 minutes to render, because it was full surround sound, full setup, full meal deal, all the settings, and intense, and it took that long to render. And before that, I couldn't almost barely use it because it would crash the system. And so when I installed that Samsung solid state drive, and it's not a SATA connection, it's a M2 connection. Yeah, fast. I can reboot my laptop, and it literally will take 30 seconds to reboot. From clicking the reboot to logging in, to the login screen, 30 seconds.
Totally worth the solid state drive. And they're quieter too, a lot quieter. You don't have any of that noise.
Oh, there's no noise. There's no noise from it. And so those things are great for people that are making recordings. Well, you can see my mic. And it tends not to pick up a whole bunch of background noises, but it can. It's really good mic. It is omnidirectional, but it doesn't really like if the turbo fan's not going, it doesn't pick up the fan in my laptop if it's running. It's not real super loud. But you turn the blower on, it might pick it up just a little bit. No. And you know what? Doing the vocal tracks and doing the mixing, that's not really the hard part of making the song. The hard part is putting together the slideshow, because my power director, it makes really cool slideshow, but it won't do what I want half the time, and so I have to go back and forth to get it to throw up what I want it to throw up, transition wise. And for some reason, it increased the transition timing. It's maddening sometimes, but it makes really decent slideshows. And so and a lot of times, a lot of the thumbnails that I make for those slideshows, I make right then and there, and then I mix a lot of some old ones here and there that are pretty cool looking in between. And it's like let's see here. All right, this one. All right, that right there. Might help. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
You could hear it, right? Could you hear it?
I heard something, but I couldn't identify what it was.
All right. Because I never removed it. You should have been able to hear it. That right there, that thumbnail, that's basically picture of traffic, and I run it through a neon light filter, and then I change it around and do some things and bring out highlights, and I create them thumbnails. This is an example, fresh for pretty much every song video that I do, and the record right there turning, that's a separate particle. The snares and the drum kit here on both sides, those are two different particles that have probably about 6 or 7 different moving things. And then you got the little ripples that are popping up here and there. That's a particle itself.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I can literally lose hours rearranging particles and making the images and creating the transitions. I can literally lose hours when I'm doing that. It's probably the hardest thing about making videos. Here, I'm going to do this. The audio connection must have timed out or something. There we go. But yeah, and there's quite a few in there. I made like 5 or 6 ones that have to do with driving and the road and stuff like that. And it turned out really cool. You know those images where they show the trail of lights along a highway? The tail lights, and it's a string of it. Basically, you leave the f-stop open, and it catches all the tail lights, and it's a long string of lights. I took one of those and I ran it through the neon light filter, and it would look really cool. Turned out really good. and so I put it in Pixlr and I messed with the bright and the dark and brought things out and made things pop. It's kind of how I made the new logo.
Yeah.
And those are actual sunglasses that I have coming in the mail. I found blue sunglasses. They're prescription too.
Nice.
Yeah. Because the current glasses I got are really scratched up, really bad. And so I got 2 pairs of glasses, similar style. I used to wear a style like that years ago. I've got pictures of me wearing these glasses that are taped together, literally. And I had them for quite a while, and they were busted up pretty bad. And it got to the point to where the frames are no longer able to hold the lenses, and I go buy a pair of bifocals that look just like them, and then I
Good night,
put them in
Makini.
there. Good night, Makini. And I would melt the frames, and press them in so that way I'd be able to have a pair of glasses. Because at that time I had a requirement to wear glasses when I drive. But the last time when I just renewed my license, the guy was asking me what I use my glasses for, and I go, I use it for far seeing. I can't see far, and she goes, do you need them to watch TV? I'm like, no. She's like, why don't you try the test without your glasses? And I passed the test, the vision test. 48 years old, and I passed the vision test.
I don't even think I could see any of the numbers without my glasses.
You know, a few years back, I couldn't pass the vision test without glasses. I kid you not. That was weird. And I think back when I was a teenager, I wore my glasses when I was reading. Basically, I don't think I should have been wearing my far-seeing glasses to read with, because I think I was actually doing my vision harm. So those of you that wear glasses, don't read with your far. If you're nearsighted, don't use your glasses to read. It could make your eyesight worse.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. And I do have to use reading glasses for certain things to see up close. And if I wear my far-seeing glasses, and if I try to read anything up close, forget it. It's blurry. Can't see it.
If I'm going to try and read without my glasses, that book's going to be right here.
So you're farsighted.
No, I'm very nearsighted. Very nearsighted.
No.
I'm a -9 and a -9 3/4. That's bad. Real bad.
Because I can read stuff with my glasses off. Now, if I put my glasses on, I can't read that. Because I can't. Yeah, I can't see far, so that means that I am nearsighted. And basically, if you can't see near, that means you're farsighted.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm very nearsighted. Very nearsighted.
And no, you be farsighted because you can see stuff far away. It's just when you bring
stuff. No, I can't. I can't
both?
see stuff. No, I can't. I can't see
Wow.
stuff far. I can't see stuff far away. I can only see stuff that's without my glasses. I have to have it right here for me to see it.
Oh wow.
I have very bad eyesight. Very bad eyesight.
I know people that are like that. They can't see stuff close and can't see stuff far.
No, I can see stuff close. I just can't see it. It's so bad that it has to be really close for me to see it.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can like hold my hand here and I can read stuff. It's just the stuff that far away, man, I can't see. The street signs, stuff like that, I gotta have my glasses on to read the street signs when I'm driving. Because I get a little closer, I can see them, but it's a lot easier with my glasses when I'm driving.
Shoot, I don't even think I could see the sign. I see colors. Looks like a Matisse painting somebody threw turpentine on.
Yeah, so I've it's always a pain in the ass to find the clip-ons that actually match your glasses or get eyeglasses that have the clip-ons that work for sunglasses for your eyeglasses, and I've never actually had a prescription pair of sunglasses. And so, of course, blue is my favorite color, and so I got blue. That was cool.
Right on. Yeah, they're a cool pair of glasses. I think I used to have some red tinted lensed ones for a while, but I don't know what happened to them.
And of course, I got a normal pair. Similar style. Yeah. Kind of can't wait to get them,
Yeah, I hear you. They're a nice pair of glasses. You gonna wear them on stream?
These are. Yeah, so everyone can see them. These, I can't see nothing with these on because it's too close.
Mm-hmm.
Because I lean back now, I can kind of see stuff. But I have to have reading. I have to have reading glasses. If I have my glasses on, I would sometimes put reading glasses, the half ones, in front of my glasses so I can read stuff. And I definitely, my bifocal is 0.50. I think that's how they work. No, 1.50 is my bifocal.
I'm not there with the reading glasses yet, but I notice when I wear contact lenses, I have a real hard time reading computer screens. I think they overcorrected it for distance vision, so my near vision is not so good. So I have to.
Oh yeah, if I wore contact lenses, I'd have to have reading glasses on to see.
Yep.
See anything close, I'd have to have bifocals on. I wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's because I don't know if it's because contact lenses are different somehow or if they overcorrected, but I don't have that problem with my glasses.
Yeah. When I was younger, I could read stuff up close with my glasses on. And as I got older, I noticed in my late 20s that I couldn't. Stuff started getting a little blurry with my glasses on. And by the time I was in my late 30s, I almost needed bifocals. And now I have to have bifocals on to read anything up close with my actual glasses on. It's a real pain. Because I got to take my glasses off to read stuff. Because I can't read stuff up close with them on. It's crazy. All right. Which song should we play to close out?
What song would you like, chat? Whichever song the chat wants. Unicorn and San Fran's a good one.
It is. We opened with that.
Oh, okay. Well, we can close with it.
Let me see here. Pull up that. Yeah. Unicorn San Fran. Let's see here. Let's try this one. This is one of the newest ones.
All right.
I saw 12 horses. I saw 12 horses ride come the morning light. 12 eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the night sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns. Wolves on the run. I'm not beholden to the way things are. Making a beeline for the state line. No, I won't be confined. There's signs on the wall. We better make the call before the fall. 12 horses right from the morning light. I saw 12 eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the night sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns. Wolves on the run. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. I saw 12 horses riding. I saw 12 horses riding. Come morning's light. I saw 12 eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the night sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Eagles and horses, bears and unicorns, wolves on the run. I'm not beholden to the way things are. Things are making a beeline for the state line. I won't be confined. There's 2 signs on the wall. We better make the call before the fall. I saw 12 horses ride. Come morning's light. I saw eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the night. I saw them shoot across the sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Eagles and bears and unicorns, wolves on the run. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. I saw 12 horses ride, come morning's light. 12 eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the sky. I tell ya, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns, wolves on the run. I'm not beholden to the way things are, making a beeline for the state line. No, I won't be confined. There's signs on the wall. We better make the call before the fall. 12 horses ride, come morning light. 12 eagles fly, taking flight. 12 stars shot across the night sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns, wolves on the run. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. horses ride. Come morning light. I saw 12 eagles taking flight. I saw 12 stars shoot across the sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns, wolves on the run. I'm not beholden to the way things are. Making a beeline for the state line. No, I won't be confined. Signs on the wall. We better make the call before the fall. 12 horses ride, morning light. 12 eagles taking flight. 12 stars shot across the sky. I tell you, it was a sight to behold. Horses, eagles, bears, and unicorns, wolves on the run. I saw 12 horses ride, 12 eagles fly, 12 stars shot across the sky.
That's another good one. I really like that one too.
That's the longest one I've made.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a good flow to it. Really good vibe.
It was difficult, but I find the ones that are the most. Yeah. The wolves are gathering around. Line the queues, turn the lights down. Normies and paper cowboys. Wolves gathering around, making attractions and their distractions. Don't cancel the movie, don't cancel me. Don't cancel the popcorn. All the bellicose in the cellulose line you turn the lights down. Are you ready for the greatest picture show? Let's get to it, let's do it. Don't you blow it, get to it. Careful what you sow, put a little bow on it. Get to it once a little package. Why they're not such a little package.
Hey, Mondo.
Going to the picture show, so nostalgic, it was heraldic. Speaking of something told, was it foretold? Was it foreshadowing? Chattering, it's all that matters. You know, it's a picture show. Interconnecting, never disconnecting. Saving the world one song at a time. Saving the world one song at a time. Saving the world one song at a time. Wolves gathering round, line the queues, turn the lights down. Normies and paper cowboys. Paper cowboys. Wolves gathering round, fatal attractions and their distractions. Don't cancel the movie, don't cancel me. Don't cancel the popcorn. All the bellicose in the cellulose line the queues, turn the lights down. Are you ready for the picture show? Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Don't you blow it. Don't you blow it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Careful what you sow. Careful what you sow. Bow on it. Get to it. Quite a little nice package. Go to the picture show. So nostalgic, it's heraldic, speaks of something told. Was it foretold or was it foreshadowing? Cut the chattering, it's all that matters. You know it's a picture show. Interconnecting, never disconnecting, saving the world one song at a time. The world one song at a time. That's for you, Mando. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show.
Have a great night, everyone.
There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train.
Thanks for coming out.
Southwest
Love all of you.
bound.
Yeah, we do. We love you. Indeed.
Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song of long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. We're gonna start on Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not man in the moon. That has the sound so profound. Man with the sound so profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, south wind bound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gonna walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Well, where we start our Ghost Bear time. No, I'm not the man in the moon that has the sound. Sound so profound, man, with a sound. So profound to be found. A little bit never hurt no one. Go for the show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Just need a scarecrow to scare the children. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show. There's no troubles here. Like a light on a train, southwest bound. Time to stop running, let the rain wash it away. Gotta walk the line, no more fines. Gotta walk the line, sing a song long ago. Welcome to the Ghost Bear Show.
All right. Hey, everyone. You know where to find me. Right here at Bear Nerd Fun. And you can catch us here on Saturdays doing a little this, a little that, and having a good old time. And like Wes likes to say, without the chat, it wouldn't be any fun. And you're the best chat. You're the best chat. You are. You truly are. In this community. Hell yeah. So, hell to you. Hell to everyone. Wes, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast, and hope to see you there.
Hail to you. And we'll go out with the unicorn, eh?
Movie and a unicorn and popcorn. I saw unicorns and friend. All I had was a grand. Making an Exodus movie show was getting good. I got my popcorn. Hot summer, got to beat, got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your playlist. Do you understand the music show? Apocalyptic movie show. I got my popcorn 2 degrees. Nothing like watching this movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn too. Living in a post-apocalyptic movie show. The movie and a unicorn. Movie and a popcorn. Movie and a popcorn. I saw unicorns and friend. All I had was a grand. Making an Exodus movie show is getting good. Got my popcorn getting really deep. It got some heat, can't beat it. Add this to your list. Do you understand the music post-apocalyptic movie show? I got my popcorn too. 100 degrees, nothing like watching a movie show. So many to choose from. Got my popcorn, yeah. Hope you got your popcorn, yeah. Living in a popcorn movie show. Movie and a unicorn. Movie and a unicorn show. Good night, all.